If you took the lowest budget Hammer horror film and mixed in a cheesy gothic setting, you got the erotic Rites of Frankenstein. Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome to day 18 here on the 31 Days of Horror. I am your host Mood616 and thank you once again for stopping in, guys. Yeah, day 18 is here and we're taking it all the way back to 1972 with one of Jess Franco's like 2 million films that he directed in his career. This one right here, I have actually seen bits and pieces of. I've never seen the whole film. I've had it in the collection for a while, so just thought, why not? Got to do this one. It's always intrigued me because this one right here made the Section 3 list on the Video Nasties, the Video Nasties Section 3 list, which was basically just a bunch of films that were seized that were never prosecuted or, banned or whatever. But this one appeared on that list, and it goes by the title of The Erotic Rites of Frankenstein. I think it's also known as The Rites of Frankenstein, and it goes by, I think it has a bunch of different titles, to be honest. After watching this one, it's just amazing the films that actually made some of these lists. This one is a prime example of a film that really doesn't showcase a lot of the things you would expect to see from a film that would be on one of these lists. But, it is what it is. So, but yeah, getting into the plot of this one. Basically, the film starts out with Victor Frankenstein. He's actually attacked by two people, and he ultimately ends up dying. Their motives are very simple. They attack and kill Frankenstein because he's got this new technology that he's developed, and he's also created a monster, which is, this brand new super-powered human being, as we know as, the monster from Frankenstein. So anyways, you got these two characters by the name of Coglaristo, and he's got an assistant called the Blind Bird Woman. And so they have basically kidnapped the monster, and now their goals are to basically use the monster and Victor Frankenstein's technology to create the ultimate woman, so they can breed these two together and create the ultimate race. Now, once Frankenstein's daughter shows up, she obviously finds out that her father has been killed. She gets some information, which I won't reveal how she gets some information. But anyways, now it's, she decides that she needs to go and, put an end to all this and get the monster back so she can, continue her father's science and stuff like that. But of course, Coglaristo has his own plans for Vera, who is Victor Frankenstein's daughter. He's got plans for her. And yeah, I'll just leave the plot right there. So my thoughts on this one. This is a very short film. It only runs about 74 minutes, and it's very, very Jess Franco. If you've seen any type of Jess Franco films, you know what you're getting yourself into with these ones. They're very low budget. A lot of these films are decently, shot, though. That's one thing that always surprised me about Jess Franco films, that the cinematography is always usually pretty good. The editing is always kind of choppy, so you pretty much know what you're getting with this one. So, again, cinematography, pretty well shot. Actually, there's a couple shots in the beginning of this film that are very reminiscent of, like a Gene Roland film in a way. Gene Roland always used the same type of settings in a lot of the beginning of a lot of his older films and stuff. And there's a scene here on a beach which just instantly reminded me of Gene Roland, so... this film's actually shot in French too, which right there it actually kind of got me thinking of Gene Roland also. But yeah, again, super low budget, and it's very Jess Franco. It has non-stop nudity in this one. There's lots of tits, there's lots of blatant muff asses, there's dicks in this one. The Erotic Rites of Frankenstein, I guess I understand where the title comes from. There's not really a lot of sex in this one at all. It's not erotic at all. I guess it's referring to, Frankenstein and the creation he's trying to do, the eroticy with that, I guess. But the title's, it's not really the greatest title in the world. But this one is it's a pretty interesting film because it blows my mind that it made this list. There's really not a lot going on in this one. There's no over the top blood and gore and killings and things like that. This one has a very straightforward kind of plot and storyline to it. Just the only thing I can imagine is that maybe it had too much nudity in it for the censor boards or something, but I don't know. This one right here, it's not a very explicit film, but it's a very odd film too. You've got this blind bird woman who, she's the assistant of this, this mastermind, Coglaristo or whatever his name is, and she's a very odd character because she attacks people and kind of, you know, she has this thirst for blood. So she's almost like this human vampire type character, and it's really strange. And she like kind of dresses, she kind of looks and acts like a bird at times, and it's just a really weird character. It's very out of place and strange. And there's a few other things going on in this film too that are very odd, which is very kind of reminiscent of Jess Franco films in general. But with all that said and done, it's a very straightforward type film. There's not really a whole lot going on here. There's no backstory to these characters and stuff. It just kind of gets read into, and you just kind of have to take it for what it is. It's pretty entertaining for what it is, and I have to say it's one of the better made Jess Franco films. Like I said, cinematography is good. It's pretty well lit for what it is. The acting is what it is. You know, like I always say, it's hard to rate acting in these, you know, these foreign films because it's just hard. You know, a lot of it's overdubbed and stuff like that, and you know, this one's actually not too bad. But you know, all in all, it's actually a pretty fun film. It's nothing mind-blowing. But there's really not a whole lot to say about this one. There's just nothing to really talk about at all. You know, it's pretty straightforward and stuff. I will say the whole end of this film it's a tad bit anticlimactic. It's a little bit cheesy, and it's also a little strange too. They kind of throw in a couple weird things like the last couple things that are said in the film are so strange to the story, and it's just like, okay, I guess so, whatever. But you know, it definitely has rewatchability to it. I definitely check this out again just because it's just a little oddball film. That's not too strange. It's easy to follow, but it is what it is. 5.5 out of 10 if I had to rate this one. There's not really a whole lot to say about it. It's always nice, you know, to see the sleaziness in Jess Franco, but it's not the sleaziest of his films by far. Yeah, there is a lot of 70s muff in this one. So if you're into that, definitely check out this one for that. And it's kind of fun. I enjoyed it. You know, Jess Franco films for me are very hit and miss. This one is one of the better ones. I do recommend it. 5.5 out of 10. Not a brilliant film. It's really short. Definitely give it a shot. So I will see you guys tomorrow in day 19. See you then. Peace out, homies. Oh yeah, and the monster's makeup is probably the cheapest makeup in the history of Frankenstein's. Yeah. No, seriously, the Frankenstein looks like he was just painted. Spray painted, if that. It's absolutely terrible. Typical Jess Franco.